Today we're going to talk about how to keep your feet warm at the end of one of these. So one thing I hear about people in sleeping bags is right here. The footbed. Their feet get cold. And to take care of that is actually relatively simple. There's 3 things that I can recommend. So the first tip is to make sure you pay attention to where you're putting your tent. Make sure that you're putting your tent on relatively flat ground. And if it does have one side that's elevated compared to the other one, don't put your feet on the side that's elevated. You don't want to have your feet elevated above your heart. The same thing goes for when you sprain a knee or an ankle and you get swelling. You got to elevate your knee or your ankle or your foot or whatever is swollen. Same thing goes for keeping your feet warm. Don't have them elevated. So picking out a spot that's relatively flat and knowing which way the elevation is. If you do have a little bit of incline or decline, pay attention to that. Don't keep your feet above your heart. The second tip is pretty obvious. Socks. Nice, thick socks. I have some here from Smartwool. I'll put a link down below to these socks if I can find them on Amazon, where I think I got these. But this is a nice Carhartt wool blend. Smartwool. I love Smartwool socks. Here's a twist. This is a Smartwool liner. This is a very thin sock. Now what I have found through all the time I've been out in the wilderness, outside, camping, whatever, my feet sweat. Now if you only have one sock on, there's only one place for that to go, and that is into your sock. If you have a liner sock, the liner sock takes care of wicking, while this sock then takes care of warming. So that's one way. A long time ago I figured out that, oh, a liner sock? What's that? Liner socks are the way to go. Have a liner sock and a nice thick wool sock. Let me just denote this really quick. Fresh socks. Not socks you were hiking in. You always want to change your socks when you get to camp. Not socks you were hiking in that are already wet. Always put fresh socks on when you go to sleep. The last tip is to put hot water in a bottle and put it at the bottom of your sleeping bag. If you're going to use a metal container, make sure you put it inside of a sock to keep it off of you so you don't get too hot. But a nalgene works great because if you're carrying this, it's super lightweight. Put some hot water into a nalgene, close it up, put it at the bottom of your foot bed of your sleeping bag, and then that'll keep your feet warm for the rest of the night because it's going to be insulated. The warm is going to be insulated in here. And then benefit if you're in really cold conditions, you have water, 32 ounces when you wake up. You don't have to de-thaw or thaw ice, etc. You already got it ready to roll. So that's the other benefit of doing that. So those are 3 tips when you're camping, backpacking, going out into the wilderness, using a sleeping bag. Those are 3 tips to keep your feet warm. If you guys have any questions or anything, let me know. If you guys have additional tips, go ahead and put those down below. I'd love to see what those are. Until next time, later.